For 6 weeks, every single night, my ceiling tapped back at me. Not footsteps, not furniture, not pipes. A slow, deliberate, almost rhythmic tapping. And I became convinced someone upstairs was hiding something. I knocked twice. I documented timestamps like a conspiracy theorist. I even started mapping the sound patterns. And when I finally discovered what was happening above my head, I felt ridiculous, but also deeply relieved. If you've ever overthought something so hard that your imagination completely hijacked your sanity, this story is for you. Hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready for a revenge story that turns into something unexpectedly human. When I moved into my apartment in Cedar Grove Heights, I thought I had finally found peace. I'm 29. I work remotely as a UX designer. Quiet matters to me. Structure matters to me. Routine keeps me sane. The building wasn't glamorous, but it was calm. Mostly retirees. A few professionals. No wild college students. Then 6 weeks and it started. Tap, pause. Tap, tap, pause. Tap. At exactly 8:17 p.m. the first night. I remember because I was mid-sentence on a Slack call and stopped talking. What was that? I muttered. The tapping continued for 20 minutes. Then silence. The next evening, 8:24 p.m. Tap, tap. This time slightly faster. Not random. Not chaotic. Intentional. At first, I brushed it off. Buildings make sounds. Wood expands. Pipes knock. But this wasn't mechanical. It felt controlled. By week 2, I was hyper-aware. Every evening, my shoulders would tense around 7:55 p.m. I would mute the TV. Sit still. Wait. And right on cue, tap. It was never loud enough to justify a complaint, but it was precise enough to crawl under my skin. I started theorizing. Exercise machine? Rocking chair on hardwood? Some weird ceiling-mounted shelf? Then my imagination got darker. What if someone was installing something? What if they were drilling slowly to avoid attention? What if... I finally went upstairs. Her name was Eleanor Whitmore, late 60s, soft silver hair, wore cardigans like she stepped out of a knitting catalog. She opened the door with a warm smile. Yes! I suddenly felt stupid. Hi, I just want to check. Is everything okay up here? I've been hearing a sort of tapping sound in the evenings. She blinked, confused. Oh, I'm not sure what that would be. Her home looked spotless. Calm. No machinery. No suspicious activity. I apologized. She smiled kindly. The tapping continued that night. And the next. And the next. By week, for I was keeping notes. 8:12 p.m., 14-minute duration. 8:19 p.m., 22-minute duration. 8:08 p.m., irregular rhythm. I hated myself for doing it, but I couldn't stop. The unknown was worse than the noise. The building superintendent shrugged. Old building, he said. Probably nothing. Probably nothing. That phrase drove me insane. Because if it was nothing, why was it so consistent? I knocked again 2 weeks later. This time she seemed slightly amused. I promise you, she said gently, I'm not doing anything unusual. And that word lingered. Unusual? So what was usual? My sleep started suffering. I'd lie in bed staring at the ceiling, replaying the sound in my head. Tap, tap, pause. I imagined hidden compartments, secret renovations, even strange hobby theories. I caught myself Googling concealed ceiling installations. That's when I realized something uncomfortable. This wasn't about noise anymore. It was about control. I had no control over the space above me. Someone else dictated what happened over my head every night. And that made me feel small. Then came the turning point. Last Tuesday. Mailroom. 6:10 p.m. She was holding a package wrapped in brown paper. Settling in all right? She asked warmly. And something in me cracked. I didn't accuse her. I didn't confront her. I just said calmly, there's this tapping sound in the evenings. I think it's coming from your unit. I'm just trying to understand it. And her face lit up. Not defensively. Delighted. Oh, she said. That's my loom. I blinked. My floor loom, she clarified. I weave after dinner every night. It's my routine. Weave, as in fabric? She invited me upstairs. And there it was, a beautiful wooden loom, positioned near the center of her living room, threads stretched vertically, a half-finished scarf woven in deep blues and golds. She pressed the pedal. Tap, the wooden frame shifted. Tap, the shuttle slid through the threads. It was the exact rhythm, the exact sound. 6 weeks of mystery reduced to a wooden instrument older than both of us. She showed me finished scarves, table runners, intricate woven pieces. I've been doing this since my husband passed, she said gently. It keeps my evenings peaceful. And suddenly, I felt ashamed. While I had been constructing elaborate conspiracy theories, she had been crafting art. While I was mapping timestamps, she was weaving something tangible, beautiful. There was no villain, no secret renovation. No hidden wrongdoing, just a lonely woman keeping herself busy with tradition. The tapping didn't feel invasive anymore. It felt human. That night, 8:21 p.m. Tap, and instead of clenching my jaw, I smiled, because now I could picture it. The loom, the threads, her focused expression. The mystery had been far worse than the reality. And here's the ironic part. The revenge wasn't against her. It was against my own imagination. The relief was so satisfying it felt like justice. Justice against anxiety, against assumption, against overthinking. The tapping never stopped, but my resentment did. A week later, she knocked on my door, holding something folded neatly. I made this for you, she said. A scarf, deep navy and gray. The colors reminded me of the evening sky. The very sky I used to stare at while stressing over sound. I ran my fingers over the fabric. Each thread once a tap in my ceiling. Each rhythm I had feared now warmed around my neck. And in that moment, I realized, sometimes the villain in our story is just our own unchecked imagination. It's strange how quickly uncertainty turns into suspicion. How silence fills itself with worst-case scenarios. The noise never changed. My understanding did, and that made all the difference. If this story made you rethink a moment you once overanalyzed, hit that like button. Drop a comment and tell me, what's something you completely misjudged at first? And don't forget to subscribe for more emotionally layered Reddit revenge stories that aren't always what they seem.